All right, and we're back. Hopefully, we have all of our audio technical difficulties out the way from last week.
There's not music in my ear, so that's already a win.
No music, and hopefully my mic sounds better. So, first thing I guess we need to say, hey, if you haven't ordered a shirt, make sure you go on to our link tree, sign up, get a shirt. Once they come in, you'll pay for them, but you got to put your size, your name, your email, because they're limited edition. When we do the pink ones, we have to order them in-house, so we have to do limited runs. So if you want one, make sure you get on the website or get on the link tree, order it by Sunday, because we're going to place the order Sunday night, so they start them on Monday.
Yep. Yeah, and you got to do it because I'll be out of town early next week, so
Yeah, so there's no...
got to get it in.
Yeah, so there's no, I'm late, let me do it. No, sorry, Cody, you got to...
I reminded him yesterday. So
You got to get it done. So I guess... What's on the horizon for you, Bacon? Anything?
So biggest thing for me is we got CrossFit games coming up in a couple weeks. Meetings have started for that in the last couple weeks for me. So we've been working on that, and whole new job role for me this year. Instead of running the campgrounds, I'll be over the CrossFit EDU like fan workout area.
Yeah.
Which is exciting. An opportunity to hear from some of the best coaches in the world. Like Bergner and his daughter are going to be there doing some weightlifting seminars. Kendrick Ferris is going to be there doing some weightlifting seminars. And then we'll have the redshirt team coaching the vast majority of the classes. And then Proven's going to do some classes, as is HWPO. So if nothing else, I'll get to learn, come back with some new, warm-up ideas and, coaching cues. Because that's the biggest thing, you can hear 1,000 different ways to lock out overhead, but when you hear that one that just clicks for you, that's the right one to use. And so the more you have for those other athletes, the better. And one I got from you, here after, 7 or 8 years of being in CrossFit, 5 or 6 years of coaching, that extension overhead, thinking of it like a punch, relaxing the bottom and then, really punching overhead. It's one that works, and every time I've used it with someone, I've never thought about it like that. It really makes sense.
Do they always do these at the games? Do they always have these seminars or people there, or
So
is this newer than?
No, there's so they've kind of had both, but they've been in separate areas since I've been involved with the games in Madison. And this year, everything's going to be condensed into one general area, which is what my job is this year, is running that. So because some of them are kind of more of a talk, kind of Q&A type stuff. But then there's also there literally are classes that run that you can sign up for. So if you're a spectator at the games, you can, and you want to get a workout in, you can sign up for. They start at 8:30 in the morning and go till 5 or 6 at night. There's even an hour in the morning for credentialed trainers to get in and affiliate owners, and then there's an hour in the evenings for the staff of us that are there that want to get a workout in.
Yeah.
But then the bulk of the classes are actually run.
And it's all in one area now, so you should not be that. Yeah.
Yeah.
CrossFit's so weird. It's like they don't think about. I don't know. Maybe it's big billion-dollar corporations. It's they don't think about the little things when they run.
Well, and I think some of it too is you have the space that you have, and then it's okay, what do we fill this with?
Yeah.
Because the first year I was in Madison, one of the big pavilions was nothing. It was 100% age group.
Yeah.
And then the next year they kind of moved the age groups around instead of putting all of their events in that one thing. So then we had this huge building that we had. Okay, now what are we going to do with this? Whereas going into Fort Worth, where they're going to be this year, is it's all the event space is in one building, and then we're a short walk away. So Vendor Village is on one side, and then we're on the other.
Yeah.
So from a volunteer standpoint, it's easy because it keeps us and all of our people in one spot. Versus the biggest challenge for the girl that ran, she moved up, so I moved into her role. Was when things were on those other stages, you had to get the equipment needed for their over.
Yeah.
With several thousand people rolling around, you got to pilot it up, get it moved, get it there, and you want it there in time, not right beforehand, so that they, whoever's putting on the seminar can set it up however they need it.
Yeah.
And then you got to get it back because you probably need it for the next class or the next day. It's not like you can just leave stuff sitting, because then it walks away. So it's always very challenging with that, from that aspect.
Yeah.
But will be fun, something new for me to do, and I'm excited.
What's the have they sent like the layout yet of what it looks like since it's in a new city, new state, or
like there's general maps, so it's like the bulk of the events are going to be at the Dickies Arena there in Fort Worth. Is like a brand new state of the art, which looks incredible. I mean, I've not seen it live. They sent us a video, but it looks, like how when the AT&T Stadium, Jerry World opened up, like how different it was from most other stadiums.
Yeah.
This has that same feel, but more Coliseum type, think more basketball arena type setup than like a big football. And then there is a football field close by. They've already announced that there's going to be like an outdoor event, like a run, swim event, which looks really cool. They'll be swimming in a lake.
Yeah.
Then they're going to do Chad, which should be really interesting how they're going to.
What's that?
Chad is 1,000 box step-ups. So Chad, the guy that it's named for, was like, he did it training for like mountain climbing.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, the effects of, so many deployments and whatnot, PTSD got the best of him, and he took his own life. And so it's a workout now done, to in honor of him and his family and to help raise money. But men wear a 40-pound either vest or rucksack, and then women is 25 or 30, and it is literally 1,000 step-ups.
Well, it's going to be interesting since they couldn't seem to get the step-ups right in the quarterfinal, not in the Open or whatever was after the Open, that new Open.
The semifinals.
Yeah, because
the quarterfinals.
Yeah, where they were no-repping people, and people lost their chance who were games athletes.
Well, and
Say hi.
There's two ways to look at it. Should they know? Absolutely. But like certain movement, this is something good to talk about too. Like certain movements just don't make sense in a competition. Like kettlebell swings.
No, they're the worst.
Don't make sense. They're great movement to do. They're great for fitness. They're great for classes. They're great for accessory training. But as far as like how do you hold someone accountable when you're asking them to race? Like, I think don't do that. And a step up, the best way to alleviate that in the quarterfinals, make it a box over.
Yeah.
So I'm hopefully they handle this, or, like we've talked about this on the podcast before. Like, man, in those athlete briefings at the games, I've been at semifinal briefings, I've been at games briefings. It is so broken down. Like, you must do this.
Yeah.
Are there any questions? And when people ask, they answer the question clearly. Like the rope climb. You have to touch this spot, not these other spots. If you touch one of those other ones, you're going to get no rep and be told to do it again. Uh-oh. Our co-host is not having it.
Yeah, Forrest is not being a happy guy right now. Hey, what's wrong, guy? What's wrong, guy? You sleepy?
It's a little warm in South Alabama today. Poor buddy.
Oh, poor guy. Hey.
That's kind of like Monday afternoon night too, not Friday.
I know. Let's pause for a quick second.
Yep.
All right, so we took care of the baby. Mama came and got him, so we can get back to what we were talking about. So we were talking about standards for workouts.
Yeah, like certain movements just don't make sense in competition, Like a regular air squat, unless you're strict on it, shouldn't be in most competitions. Like local. Kettlebell swings definitely shouldn't. Box, if you want to do something, if you want to do a box step up, make it a box step over. That's one of those things you just got to kind of look at it and think about it, and
Yeah, I don't understand the step up, just because like you can show. It's the same thing with like a box jump. Like if you're going fast, you really get your hips through, but like on the step up, it's like it's even harder. Mm-hmm. So just use step overs, or like even instead of box jumps, box jump overs. So much easier. Because there's no standard, you just go over the box.
Yeah, you just got to get feet, got to touch the top, and then you got to get to the other side.
So hopefully that'll be interesting if maybe they'll make it to where they have to step over instead.
Man, I'm hoping they do something cool with it. Like it's at the game, so put some, like Castro said on his podcast or whatever, wherever it was talked about, that he's going to put some kind of twist. So it'll be interesting, being that it's at the games, is it going to be heavier weight? Is it going to be a taller box?
Could it be dumbbells and do step overs? Like,
that would be nasty. Oh my gosh. Like just the fatigue of that on your hands. Oh wow.
I mean,
great for the games. Oh my gosh.
Because if you do it like that, what is it, 1,000?
1,000.
So you have 10 boxes, do 100, and then you move to the next one.
They're going to have to do it some way for the fans in attendance and the people watching, like, to know who's winning, and even the commentators, right? So there's going to have to be either you have to advance your box or there's multiple boxes.
Yeah.
There's got to be. Because otherwise, just watching people step on a box is, like, nobody's going to tune in.
Yeah, nobody wants to watch that shit.
So, like, and I think they'll come up with something good.
Yeah.
But, it's like, it could get really interesting. Or, it's even been said, like, I think it's like Saturday morning, it's the last event before the cuts. Are they going to use it to make will it factor in, like, if you're not at 200 by
a certain time, you're done.
By this time cap, you're out. No matter where you're at, you're out. That could be really interesting. Yeah. And then, like having some people that are on that kind of borderline, like make them go for home runs. That's what makes it. That's the one thing when the games is the most interesting to me is when you have, like, Matt and Tia and Rich and whoever, like, typically do really, really well.
Yeah.
But when you have that when it's in that one person's wheelhouse and they just go,
yeah, like,
then it's fun.
Yeah.
Instead of it just being the same one or two people dominating the whole time.
No, for sure.
So I think that could be awesome. Like, some people, like, no, man, I've got to sell out on this.
Are there any other, those only things they've talked about
the
so
only
far?
two that have been announced are Chad, and that'll be Saturday morning, and then the run swim, which I believe is the first event, whatever day that is. I believe, and I could be wrong there.
All right, so that's what, the end of the month?
Beginning of August. Early August. Like that first week of August.
Gotcha. Anything else new coming up that you can think of on your end?
We already talked about T-shirt order. We talked about the games. Regular training for me, which
How's
I'm
your
loving.
body feeling?
Finally feeling actually good. Went through the shoulder thing, but like going overhead, starting to feel good again. Catching the bar in a clean feels good.
Yeah.
Got decently heavy yesterday. I did the power clean with 2 push press at 225, and then a power clean 245, and just have not having gone overhead in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, nope, not today. But it just felt good to catch that heavyish clean again. Just some sense of feeling normal.
Yeah, no. So my training. Speaking of training, I've actually felt a lot better recently. The past few weeks, kind of got back into the whole CrossFit stuff. Just shoulder doesn't hurt, bicep doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Finally started doing some snatches and cleans again because my knee's feeling better.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of muscle ups. It helps a lot when you lose 20-some pounds.
No doubt.
Like,
where are you at now? No.
So before Father's Day, I was like in the high 230s, and then since then I kind of been cheating here and there and this and that. So now, but like this week I've been back in the groove. So I'm like 242, 241.
Nice.
But like,
because your goal is what, 225?
Yeah, to get to 225.
And that's to MMA? What? Oh, is that not supposed to talk about?
No.
We can edit that out.
No, just get to 225, and then I can just be in shape, do better things, get back into the MMA or jiu-jitsu stuff, and just feel better. But kind of just a goal I had to get. I haven't been 225 probably since. When I did CrossFit, I was like 225 to 230. That was for about a year. But before that, it had to be like 2009. So like 2009, and then about 2017, about 225, 230.
What was your playing weight when you were south?
235 to 240.
Wow, okay.
So, but get down. But I feel better. Like when I started getting back in shape after the bicep surgery, I mean, just moving on the rig at 260, 270 is like not fun. Like it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do anything. And then I got to about 250 during Murph, and like it was the first time I did kipping pull-ups like in a workout, and I strung them together, or butterfly pull-ups I should say. Kipping was fine, but strung them together finally, and then started losing some more weight, and the toes to bar got easier, and then the muscle-ups were somewhat of a challenge, but now it's, I try to do, when I make up the workouts, try to do right at the limit that I know I'm going to fail, that I'm not going to fail, but if I do one more, it's 50-50, make it or not.
Yeah.
So I've been doing like 3 muscle-ups at a time in a workout, or like toes to bar about 6, handstand push-ups about 9, and then chest to bar pull-ups are, about anywhere from 3 to 6. I haven't really done many of those besides one workout, but trying to pushing the limit to build the capacity up because I'm feeling better and I can do the movements, but still, like, once I lose the weight, it'll slowly get even easier and easier and easier.
And are you feeling like, is your strength staying? Because, I mean, your top end strength was so ridiculous there at one point.
It's not where, no, it's getting back to it, but it's just not where it was. I mean, I with the bicep surgery and then hurting my knee, like right before the bicep surgery, like, so I would say from February to May or June, whenever I started working, I guess June, like, I didn't really lift heavy, lift hard, and it's just been kind of rough. So, like, I feel really weak right now, even though relatively strong.
You feel weak for you.
Compared to, relative to myself. Yeah. So it's like, but it's getting back, and I'm getting, the recovery is coming back because I'm getting in better shape with my capacity work. But the strength will come. It's just going to take a little bit of time, I think. But I'm recovering better. I'm sleeping better. There's really not much stress since we moved everything. The gym is running itself.
Yeah.
We have good coaches coaching.
Yeah.
So my stress is a lot lower, minus like baby and Victoria with school and stuff. But besides that, so the strength will come back. It's just finding time to get it. But right now, I'm really just focused on getting in shape. Because once I get in shape, I can get the strength back.
Yeah.
But I realized last time I got strong, I was out of shape. So it's like doing 1 or 2 reps and you're dead. I'd rather get the capacity up, then take a little bit more time to get strong, but be able to be strong like I was in 2017, where like maybe I couldn't squat 600 pounds, but I could deadlift over 7. But then I could also, run a 6-minute mile, do all the CrossFit stuff, rather than 2022, 2023, Jake, where I could do a 715 double deficit deadlift, squat 630, snatch 370, but fucking get tired walking upstairs.
I remember, that day your coach, after one event, I don't remember which one it was, but you came back and your coach like wanted to work on your endurance, and he had you doing like sets of 10 squats.
Yeah.
And it was like, I remember watching you, and like you do the 10 and then just like collapse every set.
Yeah.
No,
like getting. So I need to get back into. I hate to say the CrossFit Games, like when we went to games type shape, but like that style, because I just felt better healthy wise. Like, yeah. But I had the work capacity. I was still strong. I could do a lot of different things, but I could also recover. Yeah. It's like getting the capacity back, then you can recover faster from like heavy stuff, everything. But yeah, no, it's getting there. Like with the conditioning, like the past couple of days, I've been trying to focus on, with a normal Metcon, the heart rate's probably gonna be in the 150s when you're pushing it. So like my goal was like, look at my heart rate monitor. When I get below 150, then I hop back up on the rings, or I hop back up on the rope. So like yesterday, I did a 15-minute workout with 9 handstand push-ups, 6 toes to bar, 3 rope climbs, 50-foot handstand walk. The rope climb is the worst part, just because it wears you out. So like every time I drop below 150, I would jump back on the rope. But if it was above 150, kind of learn to control the heart rate, so I could recover a little bit better, so I can slowly get in shape. So. But it's getting there. So getting in shape's there. So the strength is going to be the hard part. But like I said, it's all relative. Like, basically benched 400 the other day and haven't benched since bicep surgery, and then squatted 500 and deadlifted almost 6.
Yeah,
so
you're so weak,
So it's
bro.
not where I want to be, but getting better. But the Olympic stuff's getting I'm taking my time on the Olympic stuff. My knee's not hurting. It hurts afterwards, but it's not hurting during the actual session, which is good. Like yesterday, the first time I did any full cleans since February, any full snatches since February. I mean,
Nice.
I say February because that's when I hurt my knee, but like it may even been August from when Nationals was last year. Like I don't remember last time I did any true Olympic stuff besides like in a Metcon,
Dang. Yeah.
So
Yeah, and since we all started like really focusing on CrossFit here, I remember Cody and I were talking about like there's not a lot of Olympic barbell stuff in the Metcons we do. There's
Yeah.
some, but it's not prevalent. Like we use a bar,
yeah,
but we also, our programming tends to have like very specific strength stuff, and so like the Olympic stuff tends to be in there.
yeah.
Whereas our Metcons, if it's a bar, it's like a deadlift or a floor
Yeah.
press or it's not.
No, and
Like, there's a bar, but it's
there's a
typically not an Olympic
Usually,
bar.
like with the way we program it, especially for the conditioning, I'm not the biggest fan of throwing. I mean, I'll have the Olympic stuff in there sometimes, but I'd rather have something where it's less dynamic, or you could say less chance of getting hurt when going
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
Just because, like in reality, we just want to get in shape and build our work capacity,
Yep.
build our endurance, get leaner, all that stuff, and like you can get the same concept or same stimulus doing a fast deadlift and a box jump, or a deadlift and a run, or a push press, or a shoulder to overhead, or a thruster than you can as you can from a clean and a snatch. You know what I mean? Or even like a sumo deadlift high pull. It's just safer, and then also like just because I didn't want to do them because of my knee, so I didn't program them as much as well.
Well, and then also as hot as it is, like just the safety.
Well, no, that's what people.
like the sweat on your hands
Yeah.
and. Like adding chalk isn't going to do anything if your hands are moist.
No, that's what if you've never been down to like Mobile, Alabama, or South Florida or Mississippi, like you have no idea how it is to actually train
Yeah,
from
it's just different.
May through September, even October.
Yeah,
Like
even-
October's hot. It's not as humid, but it's still hot. But
Yeah.
like it's a different animal. Maybe that's why the Crossfit games got soft and went to Houston or wherever they went, or Fort
Worth.
Fort Worth.
Dude, it's going to be hot there. It's going to be hot. That was one thing, as a fan, would have loved for it to have been in Birmingham. It's a 3.5 hour drive,
Me and
right?
Victoria, I didn't even know until like I saw either you posted about, somebody posted about it.
Yeah.
Because we were going to go up and watch for the weekend.
The Masters will be there. They'll be there Labor Day weekend, which would be cool. But,
Yeah.
won't be the tip of the spear.
Yeah.
But when it got announced for Fort Worth, and then they were saying the vast majority is going to be at Dickies, I'm like, man, there's a ton of crowd, and not just the South in America is not the only places in the
Yeah.
world that get heat and humidity. Like
Yeah.
if you're going to test the best,
Yeah.
like they got to do something in that heat to see like how do you recover?
Yeah.
Because recovering from workouts in the heat, very different
But
from recovering from a workout in a very AC controlled.
Well, and also like a dry heat's different than a humidity.
Yeah,
so like
absolutely.
So like California is hot. I get that. Like I played in a bowl game out literally in the Home Depot Center or whatever it's called now.
Yeah.
Like where the games used to be, and like it was hot.
Yeah.
But it's like it's not humid, so it's different. Like
It's different.
in like Texas, it's kind of that weird. It's more of a dry heat, I believe, but it's hot.
Dallas is going to have humidity.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. Yeah. Probably like overall Texas is more dry, but it's going to be humid. That big lakes and stuff around, so it'll be humid.
But the humidity is different down here. I mean, literally. But I can say moving into this new building compared to the old building, it's still hot and humid, but it's not nearly as bad as it was the past 5 years upstairs.
No, I do miss those the two big ass fans though.
Yeah, maybe we
Just to circulate the air.
maybe I'm still working on White Spunner to. Maybe if White Spunner's listening in on this because they followed me on Facebook, they'll let me take those fans from upstairs and put them down here.
I mean, they're just not being used, just sitting there,
Yeah.
wearing out. Or hey, open to sponsorship. The Savage Not Average podcast brought to you by Big Ass Fans.
If anyone wants to sponsor us and drop us some fans, let us know so we can put them up in this building. But all right, so we talked about the games. We talked about training.
Well, we got the strongman. The Alabama's coming up.
Yeah, that's end of the month.
I know it's August.
It's probably the first week of August.
It's in August, right? down to the hangout because I mean they're all here training.
Yeah, Alabama's coming up. We have a couple people competing at Mako's having a weightlifting meet.
That's right. Seth will be doing
so
that.
So Seth is doing it. Kevin's doing it.
Nice.
I believe Caitlin's doing it.
Nice.
So that'll be good for them because there's really not a lot of meets down here. And
when is that meet? Do you know off the top of your head?
in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
3 weeks. So guys, it's right around the same time too.
Yeah. So it's pretty. I think it's like either August 3rd or August 10th. I know there's a meet in Louisiana, either the 3rd or the 10th, and it's the opposite weekend.
Okay.
Because I told Kevin about that. Let's get there have meets. We need to have another meet. People don't come to freaking meets in Alabama. It's annoying.
Yeah.
But we need to host a meet probably in the fall.
Time it right, because I mean, and that happened too. Like, there's a meet in Louisiana, meet in Pensacola, which, 3 hours apart,
Yeah.
and they're opposite weekends, so nobody's gonna do both. They're gonna
yeah.
pick. They're gonna pick the one closest, or that their buddies are going to.
Yeah.
I think if we could look at the calendar and really try and pick where there's a 4 to 6 week gap where we could hopefully get
Yeah.
rollover, or as they're prepping for the AO in December or whatever.
Yeah, I know. We need to find a
good tune-up
time frame and reach out to other gyms and make sure they're not going to hold a damn meet. Literally, we posted it and then somebody posted a meet the same weekend or the next weekend.
Yeah.
It's dude, what,
Yeah, all you're doing is cutting it in half.
Because you're not just done it a month later. You'd have got more people, both of us.
Exactly.
Well, that's that.
Speaking of, before we get off competing, do you follow Craig Ritchie online?
I saw he did I didn't watch the video. I saw
It was
the British.
the British, their version.
Yeah.
I think they just call it the British. I don't think it's the British
Yeah.
Open. The British had an off day, unfortunately. Missed his forearms cramped up twice on lifts he had hit multiple times in the 2 or 3 weeks leading up.
Yeah.
He ended up losing by 1 kilo.
The championship?
Yeah, 1 kilo. He smoked him in snatch. Hit a 150, 155, 319, 330 snatch.
Really?
Which for him is, I'm not 100% sure what his body weight is, but I've seen him live. He's a little bit bigger than Kevin. He's not a very big dude. And, he's stuck 330.
Let's see.
150, 155. But then the clean and jerk, the guys he was competing against are better clean and jerkers than he is. And, had he hit it one time, something that he's hit multiple times, he would have clearly won, and he ended up losing by 1 kilo.
Really?
That's just hard. I hate that for him, man.
That's pretty good. And as I've been there before, man, I get it. Some shit happens.
That's why you gotta compete, man.
You gotta compete.
Yeah. Day of, it happens. But I watched the video, his forearms just he'd get the clean and stand it up, but then he would look like he had the jerk, but his forearms just wouldn't. They were cramping, and so he just couldn't get it locked out. So,
damn, that's tough.
Yeah.
Let's think. What else was I going to talk about? Kind of spur of the moment podcast. Sorry.
I tell you what, for a Friday, I was telling Paul when we walked out there, when our co-host got a little upset. That class has got 10, 12 kids in it for a Friday.
Yeah,
in the middle of July. Normally there may be one, or Paul would just be like, "Hey, I'll see y'all on Monday."
No, yeah, the kid. Yeah, we can talk about. We can talk about the gym. The kids class has really blown up over the past 3 months or so. And Paul does a really good job. He's getting his master's. He's 23 now, but he started in the kids class. When I was down here the first time,
in the corner.
When I had the little corner, he was in class doing it.
Wow.
So he's been in it. He understands how our system is, and he's done a good job coaching. And sometimes we have 25, 30 kids in the class. And then we had 2 new kids start today, and the dad was asking how many kids would be here. I'm honestly, you never know. We're 5 to 10, and there's over 10 kids in there.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a statement of the programming, the coaching, and the atmosphere, because we literally do zero marketing. I put stuff out on social media, but it's not I don't push it through algorithms, or I just literally make a post.
Those kids aren't going to see it.
No, and we literally have just grown just naturally, just from word of mouth, but just the system. We had a coach in here. Hopefully, we get some stuff rolling with a wrestling club in town.
That'd be awesome.
And he was asking me about what if parents say, well, they work out at school. And I was like, well, I mean, that's fine if they work out at school. But the difference is, where do they go to school? How many state championships have they won? How many Gatorade Players of the Year have they coached? How many NFL players, professional athletes, UFC fighters, Team USA athletes? I mean, we've done it all. And it's all started with that class and kind of just built out to our system, and just kind of speaks for itself. Like, if you got to advertise, I mean, look, I would love to have to advertise and make hundreds of thousands of dollars on YouTube and Instagram every month for the gym, but like in reality, like, we do fine. And I mean, it just speaks for itself. Like, there's some other gyms in town who push, and I don't know how they stay in business because I don't know anyone who actually goes there. But they push like they're rocking and rolling, but nobody really comes out of there. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. No, totally. And then it's been cool, like, seeing the same faces
every day.
Like,
you have a lot of the kids,
and month to month, because for a while you would see them for a month, basically, and so it's like, okay, their parents signed them up, told them they had to do a month, and And I remember, in coaching it, you can kind of tell sometimes, the ones that'll.
Well, I think too, we've got a good group now, and we've kind of and there's always one or two who come for a month, and parents send them and they don't like it, and they just do it because mom and dad. But I think we've kind of got to the point to where, if you're gonna come, you come because you want to be here.
Yeah, and you see them working.
Like even like I say, like the best example, I think he wanted to come, but Jackson, not Jackson Hughes, other Jackson. Like, he works hard, but like, he likes to get in trouble. He likes to mess around. But like the past 2 months, like he's like been focused, been working even harder, and like it's proven out on the field. Like his dad will say like how text or make posts about how the home runs or this or that. And like the past 2 months, like that kid's like really worked super hard. Not that he didn't work hard before, but like I think he was doing it because it was fun and his friends were doing it. But then like he saw the results, and then now he's really bought in and kind of cut out the little kid stuff and like really putting the work in.
Yeah, I was listening to Dan Patrick this morning, and it made me think of you because he was interviewing, and I'm totally blanking on the pitcher's name. But rookie pitcher came out of LSU, and had a no hitter going.
Yeah, yesterday or something.
And they pulled him out they pulled him out after the 7th inning.
Yeah,
and all this controversy. Like, how do you pull him out? No hitter. Pitch count, man.
Yeah.
And then the coach actually came on today, and he was like, wasn't pitch count. He was tired. Like, it was the right thing to do. Yeah. Sorry, y'all missed the chance to see a no hitter, but he was tired. It was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But Dan Patrick had him on there and was asking him. He's like, what do you think helps you throw so hard? Because it's like in an average game over the last his 11 starts or whatever, he throws over 99, like 22 times, which is and like the next closest guy is half that.
And he's probably throwing anywhere from 80 to 100 pitches.
Yeah, and that was the thing. He was literally at 99 pitches when they took him out.
Yeah.
And so he's asking, like, what do you think helps you throw the ball like that? And he's like, my lower body strength.
Yeah.
He's like, it's one thing I've always focused on. He's like, it's not my arm, it's my lower body strength.
Yeah.
And Dan was like, he goes, it's not your arm, it's not this, it's not that. He's like, I mean, that helps. He goes, clearly I have a gift, but like, he's like, I can incorporate my legs, so I'm not reliant.
Well, that's like one thing too with the training with what we do. Like we have a bunch of baseball kids that come. We have some college kids, high school kids. Like one kid, for instance, I think he's 13 years old. He's only going into 9th grade, so he's only 13, maybe 14. But he's in the past 2-3 months added 5 miles per hour onto his fastball.
Dang.
As an average. Like he's average. Like say he was averaging. I think he was averaging like 73, 74.
Yeah.
And then the past 2 tournaments, he's been averaging 78, 79.
Wow.
Like averaging, and not just saying he's hit 81, 82, but he didn't really count it because he only hit it once. But he was averaging 78, 79 the past 2 tournaments, right? And I mean, all we do, we do upper body and we do a bunch of triceps so they don't tear their elbows up. But in reality, it's get your legs really strong, explosive, jump high. Pull fast, all those things, and like you're going to throw harder. And it's with all sports. Like, I mean, we literally have, she's in there right now working out with one of our coaches. She was on Team USA for track and field. She goes to Kentucky. And like she had a bad freshman year. She was like everything in high school, like everything, like probably was going to make the Olympic trials, all that stuff, but had a bad year at Kentucky. And it all comes down to nothing against those strength coaches, but it's like you do all this track and you go to the weight room for 30 minutes a day and you do quarter squats and hang cleans. That's all they would do, and like not a lot of plyometrics, not a lot of jumping, and it's like you wonder why like an athlete had hamstring issues, never had hamstrings issues in high school, was, gotten slower, not jumping as far. It's because you're not doing the stuff in the weight room. And she went to a high school where they have a good weight room program. She went to Sarah Lance. They have a good program. So she always jumped and ran and did lifted hard and heavy and had a good program. So, but for a full year in college, she didn't have that, and all of a sudden she got worse.
And at that level too. I mean,
it's crazy.
But I don't know how good Kentucky's track program is, but if she was that good,
no, she was the number one kid, one of the top kids in the nation.
That's what I'm saying. If she was that good, it's got to be a good program.
And it's but the thing is that you have these strength coaches in these college settings who doing dumb. You have good ones, you have bad ones. It's guys, what are y'all doing? You're making $100,000 a year, and your kids are getting worse. I'm confused. It's not hard to get a kid. Just maintain.
Yeah.
Especially you look at football players, for instance. Most football players go off. Supposedly they come out of high school running 4.4s, 4.3s. They go to pro day or combine. They run a 4.4 or 4.5, right? Which is fine. Usually those times are faster in high school because they're just wrong. But say they're right, but they're going to gain weight. But if you can just maintain a kid that comes out of high school running a 4.4, and you did your job, you're not going to get there. Maybe the 1% can get to a 4.2, 4.3, or you can get a kid from a 5.0 to a 4.5. There's that 1% that'll work on. But if you can just maintain a kid's, if they were athletic, maintain them and just get them stronger and a little more athletic and just more resilient so they don't get injured, then you did your job. But these kids are coming back from college. They're slower, not jumping as high. It's what are y'all doing? And this is a good topic to get on because it's frustrating that these coaches. You have coaches at the mid-major level now. Mid-major, so a Southern Miss, a South, the Louisiana Lafayette, and App State. The head strength for the football team is probably making $200,000 to $300,000 a year at those schools at the mid-major, right?
Wow.
The other guys are probably making anywhere from 50 to 100 that are on staff. But it's dude, you make
which is still not bad.
You're making good money.
That's good money.
And at a mid-major, you don't have that hard of a schedule. Your life's not that hard.
Yeah.
It's not ride or die. But it's you're making all this money, and why are you not putting it into your kids? Why are kids getting hurt? Why are they pulling hamstrings? Why are they getting slower? Why when they go to pro day, they did terrible? Why? I'm just confused on you wonder why y'all don't do good in competition, but then you get mad. It's just.
Some of it are they not trying to stay up with the trends? 'Cause, our age gap, our strength program at my high school, our coaches tried, but we didn't have a great weight room.
No. So this is,
and it was. I think we had bench day, we had squat day, we had deadlift day. So it was do 3 to 5 sets.
This is what I think the
5
issue.
5 to 10 reps. We didn't have. They didn't know what they were doing.
This is what I think the issue is with in the collegiate setting. I think that. One, everybody's trying to get to the next big thing, so they're trying to get in the coattails of a coach.
If they're in the South, they're trying to get to an Alabama, Auburn,
literally somebody just did that, rode the coattails with somebody to another school, and didn't do that great of a job. I don't believe, where the new guy's doing a much better job. But anyways, they want to do what's trendy and what's cool, but they don't want to stick with the science of what really fucking works.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying every even at the mid-major level, the weight room is different. South weight room is shit. It has squat racks, bars, dumbbells, reverse hypers. That's all it has. But you got to make do with what you have, right?
Yeah.
Where an App State's gonna have a badass weight room. Louisiana Lafayette's gonna have a badass weight room. Then you get to the Power Fives, they're gonna have a lot more to do. But in reality, a lot of these strength coaches want to do what's trendy or what's cool or what's this, or they want to, maybe they want to do some triphasic, or they want to do some French contrast and all these different things. But it's dude, you have 6 to 8 weeks where you actually train the kids before a football season, track season. So your block is really only 6 to 8 weeks of hard training before some sort of competition, and then the next off season or preseason begins. And they want to do what's trendy and what's cool, but it's dude, what does the science say that's worked? If you go back, everybody wants to take this, that, and other, but everything comes back to the Russian manuals, or the things from the 60s and 70s from the Russians, and they take bits and pieces of that, and that's what you need to do. And I'm not saying you have to follow it exactly like they're doing, because things have changed, with velocity tracking and things of that nature. But if you look back at the the Russian manuals, or you look at like Dr. Squat talking about compensatory acceleration, like moving the bar as fast as you can every time. How many times have you seen kids in here when they squat? And I'm not talking about the kids that use the trackers, but the younger kids, they don't think about, they just go through the motions. Or you've been to a CrossFit gym coaching, and it's 5x5. They're just doing 5x5, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think these college kids are doing? They're just doing 5x5 or 5x2, whatever the rep scheme is. It's all irrelevant.
Yeah.
But like, if they don't have intent of moving the bar as fast as they can, moving 5x5 as fast as you can at the same weight compared to moving 5x5 just moving it, you're going to get two different stimuluses, two different results. And that's what these coaches don't understand, or maybe they do, or they're just ignorant, or they just don't want to. I mean, I get it's hard when if you have 2 or 3 coaches and there's
do they care enough?
There's 100 kids in the weight room, but it's not hard. Like, you don't have to have trackers, you don't have to have all the fancy stuff, but it's just like basic principles work.
Yeah.
And they want to go too far into the cool, the niche, the hip stuff. Like I like the triphasic. I like some of the cow deet stuff, and I think it works. And I think it works for those hockey players and stuff. But like, I don't think you can use that whole system in like a football setting or a large team setting. I think you can take principles from it and put it in. But like, because we've used it for the weightlifters. Like when we've had, I put it in when we've done like the front foot elevated split squats on the belt squat, or I do like the waves of like the slow snatch pull for 3 weeks, and the eccentric and then concentric and then regular ones, and it does help a lot. But like in a football setting or a large group team setting, that's just too hard to do. And these coaches want to do it because it's cool and it's the thing to do. But
and it's something they can talk about. We're blah, 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 blah.
A lot of these strength coaches, it's all about dick riding and like who has the bigger dick, and it's like, well, does that matter, or does it matter who fucking wins and whose kids don't get hurt? Like I heard oh god, I'm having a brain fart right now. Here, let me Google it real quick as you take it over. I gotta find this thing real quick.
But yeah, I mean, like for most sports, the biggest thing, I mean, make sure they can handle the amount of running and jumping and whatever they got to do, and then building power, right? I mean, because I mean everything like that hip drive. I think about the sports I played. Football, baseball, soccer.
Yeah.
Pick up basketball in the neighborhood, like hips, being able to create that force coming out of your legs.
Yeah.
And, when you think about the old school way, that's how we were taught to squat: do 5 reps, go down, come up.
Yeah.
It really wasn't until here, and by that point I was getting close to 40 before you told me, stand up, trying to drive as hard as you can. And I remember asking you once, I mean, you told me this years ago, it was like, why, what's the point? Why? There's got to be a reason why you put, stand up as fast as you can. And when you think about it, it makes sense, because if you always, squat, slow, well, when you max out, you're going to squat slow.
Yeah.
But if you always try to stand up, with aggression and drive and build power, when you max out, you're going to try and move the bar the same way. So your body's going to is used to responding that way, versus just, oh no, now it's heavy.
Yeah, no, it's having the intent. No, I found it was it was Buddy Morris. I saw a clip and I shared it a couple weeks ago. He was talking about all these strength coaches talk about we did this to win, we did this to win. It's like, fucking, he said a strength coach never won a fucking football game. The Jimmy and Buddy Morris has been around for decades doing it, and then he's really smart. He's done conjugates. He's very intelligent, very smart. You look at him, you think he's just some old school meathead guy. He literally wears sleeveless shirts and is tatted. You wouldn't expect him to be so intelligent. Just listening to him talk or seeing him in person. But he said it's all about the Jimmy and Joes, but it's like the strength coach's job to keep them healthy, keep them explosive, and keep them being on track. But he said, if you have 5-star athletes, they're going to be a better football team than a bunch of 3-stars. Yeah. And it's all the other things that come down to it. He was telling, this is another thing fucking football coaches do. Oh, he was saying like, oh, hey, our left tackle, his core is weak. And Buddy Morris was like, well, why don't you work on some fucking technique? He's been in the NFL for 3 years. I think his core is fucking fine. It ain't his fucking core. Why don't you actually do some drills to work on his blocking? It's not his core. If he made it to the NFL, he's been there for But that's where, all these strength, they want to bring in like, oh, it's cool or this or that. And it's like, dude, like, it's not how it really works. It's complicated, but at the same time, it's very simple, and don't overdo it. And, sometimes I overthink it, and I know coaches overthink it, but like sometimes you got to take a step back, look at the basic stuff,
Blocking and tackling.
and just like doing your job and making sure the kids stay explosive, stay strong, and like continuously get better, or somehow test them weekly or monthly to make sure they're progressing. Because, you know, if you're just going through the motions, or the kids are like, you know, I see so many videos online of strength coaches and stuff like, you know, just the kids have their shirt off and they're going crazy and this and that. But it's like, man, that's cool that they're hyped, but like, what are you actually doing? Are you quarter squatting? Do you have really shitty clean technique? Are you moving the bar faster? Did you get faster, or are you just hyped up because you're lifting heavy, or you think you're lifting it heavy when you're quarter squatting it or something? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, I think that's a good. I think the whole strength and conditioning industry and the collegiate setting would be a good topic next time to get on, because I could definitely phone in some people to get them on to talk about it too. Some who were in it and got out. But yeah, that's it's just crazy, like seeing these kids come back from college, like even at the smaller colleges, some of the baseball kids, like, I need to get faster, I need to do this. I was like, well, what do y'all do? Well, we do this. I was like, well, why are y'all doing this? It's like, my thing is like, dude, if you're a strength coach in any level of college, from NIIA to D3, D2, D1 AA, Division I, like, you got to have your CSCS, you have to have these certs, you have to like have some sort of common sense. And you look at the programming, and it's just like, bro, why the fuck are you doing 5 sets of 10? Why are you doing that is not going to help you at all when it comes to like sports performance. Like, what are we doing? Like, or like you're doing, like, why are, like, the cleans are great. I love cleans. We have kids on Team USA. Like, I compete in weightlifting, but it's like, is that the end all be all for strength conditioning? No, you can get just as much power for some other movements without worrying about technique and taking time to do that. But it's like, oh, they're power clean. Well, just because their power clean went up doesn't mean they got faster.
Yeah.
They might have got more they got technically better at the lift because it's a technical lift. It's a damn sport. But it's like, how are you gauging progression? Just because they clean more? Well, I mean, maybe they just got faster under the bar. Like, maybe they pulled 315 the same height. Like, I mean, if you look at me when I'm doing my cleans, when I get above, probably when I was good, 365 to 450, the bar got to the same exact height. I didn't pull any higher, anything, but the bar, I just got under the bar fast. Like, does that mean like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna run a faster 40? No, like, so it's like, I don't know. It's just some of these coaches they want to do the gimmicky stuff or the stuff that looks cool. It's like getting a kid to run faster. It's not very hard. Get a kid to run faster. You do some biomechanics every day, some technical work. You do either some, if you want to actually run them a couple days a week, do some sprints with some chains or some sleds, not very long, not very far, but then like just teach them how to produce force. If they produce force, then they're going to produce force out there in the field. And if you teach them how to jump and they jump higher, they're going to run faster.
Yep.
Like, without that, if they can jump higher, they will run faster.
Yeah.
But it's like, they want to do all the gimmicky stuff, all the ladders and this and that, and sprinting with this and doing all these crazy drills. And it's like, guys, like with our pro day guys, like Trey, like, if I think he might be back in Jacksonville now, but like, we literally ran twice a week, and literally one day was for 12 minutes, about 15 minutes total, and then the other day was it was about 30 minutes, but that's because we did 30 to 40 yards. But it was only 4 sprints, but you had to recover.
Yeah.
So it was like a total of the long distance days, 40, 80, 120, maybe anywhere from 200 to 300 yards total of sprinting. And then the other days might have been 5 to 8 10-yard sprints with chains. And that's all we did. And he ran a 4.4 at his pro day. Had the fastest 40 at his pro day.
Dang.
And he's a linebacker, and he's in the Jaguars right now. But it's like, we didn't do all this crazy running. We didn't do all these things like people who go to, you know, a D1 or Exos or this or that. It's like, dude, like he box squatted. He did a lot of jumps, a lot of pulls, a lot of just technical work with his mechanics, his mobility. And then we did our 20 minutes of running every day, which is all he needed, and he got faster. So it's like, it doesn't it's not hard to do it, but it's like, coaches want to do what's cool, what's in, what's fancy.
Flash you on an Instagram video so they can.
Yeah, it's it just gets frustrating because like I see it, and you know, like I'm in here and built this up. It's like I see people at these levels at I guess my age now, they're getting like these 500,000, 600,000, and it's like, dude, like, how did you get there? Like, whose coattails did you ride to get there? Because you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, it's even at the high school level, like dealing with some of the high schools, it's like, coaches ask me questions, and in my head, I'm just like, how did you get this job at this high school to do this? Like, if you don't understand like simple biomechanics or this, like, I'm just like, what are we doing? It's a shame, But like, I mean, I don't know. I guess because I'm in the field and I've been in this training since I was like 12 years old, 11 years old, it's different for me. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know. It'd be good to get a couple people on here that are in the industry, that were in collegiate, so they can talk about it. Maybe I can get them actually open up because they're not going to go back to it. But like, to really talk about like the bullshit that goes on at the collegiate setting, because it's.
I mean, that's every job, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in a completely different line of work, and have been in a couple different ones that I'm in that.
Yeah.
That's every job.
Well, no, it's true.
There's going to be people that are really smart and know what they're doing,
Yeah.
and then there are going to be people that are really good at impressing the right people.
It's the same thing with the gym business, or like the coaching in business, like, or the trying to do the social media stuff and the gym business. I mean, there's plenty of gyms. I mean, not so much around here, but like that are similar styles of this. That like, dude, like, how the fuck how did you build that gym out? Like, how did you get all that money or all those like, what the fuck? I'm so confused because it's like, y'all don't coach anybody. You just like, generally like, how did y'all do that? But it's just like you said, there's people like that all in every.
It's every field. I guarantee whoever's listening to this, whatever you do, you know those type of people in your line of work as well. So.
Yeah.
But I guess full circle, like, of course, best thing to do, send your kids up here. If you want to get better, come up here and train with us. But if there's somebody that's listening that it's not close or they need to start, what's one or two things that like kids can do to just overall, either get faster, jump high, what the main key to their sport is. Like volleyball, you want them to jump. A lot of the other sports.
Well, here's one thing too. I would say too, don't take out the sports. Like if they're a baseball, volleyball, football, like people want to do sports specific, and that's bullshit too. That's your sport practice. That should be on your coach to get you better at your sport. There's no sport specific training. That's all. Those are those gurus, and they're all full of shit. Like that's not how it works. I mean, like you look back at like Charlie Francis when he was training the track athletes, like they squatted heavy, they benched heavy, they did that, and he did their running mechanic. Like there was no the sport specific stuff was their track practice, their speed work, not their lifting. Like he might have done like high box squats, things like that, but that transferred over for his athletes, right? Yeah. But I would say like with all athletes, one, get mobile, get your hips, ankles, lats mobile. You'll be able to move better. Two, biomechanics, just learn how to run. From doing A marches, A skips, A run, and do it the way that we do it. There's a couple people online who have pretty good big followings. It's been a long day, so I can't really think of their page off the top, but a lot of times when I see people online doing that, like biomechanics, they don't do it the way I like. And not saying it's wrong. I mean, maybe it works for their population, but the way that we've done it, it literally has worked for 100% of the kids who have done it. Everybody's gotten faster, they run better, and there's a couple of people online who have really big followings who do very similar styles that we do. But learn how to do that properly, and it's like literally 5 minutes a day of march, skip, a run, do a couple sprints, and you will run faster. I can remember, for instance, like when it would have been December of 2011, because in 2012 they would have came to junior day, right? And we didn't know they were coming, but like I just did, it was 3 weeks home from break. I lifted and I did literally a march, a skip, a run, and some sprints every day. And then when the Bills and Bucks came for junior day, they told us like the day before they were going to come. Now I didn't run any 40s. I just did the march skips, did my normal lifting, and I ran a 4.52 for the Bucks and Bills 2 times in a row, right? So it's like that's just from doing the biomechanics, right? Like so, it definitely works and it definitely transfers over. I mean, you could do that and do no running, no lifting, just do the biomechanics, and you'll run a faster 40. 100%. Without like 5 minutes a day, you'd be faster because you're just more sound with your mechanics.
Yep.
And then just lift, like get stronger, like, and by stronger too, like, I mean, you don't have to deadlift 800 pounds or this, but just like if you just become stronger and learn how to produce force more effectively and better, you're going to be a better athlete.
Yep.
So the sport specific stuff is all out the water, and anybody who wants to debate me can debate me on that. But, like, I mean, you can't – there's no such thing as sports-specific. Like, yeah, maybe with baseball players and volleyball players, maybe we do a little more tricep work to keep their ECLs healthy just because they're overhead a lot of quarterbacks. Or maybe with, you know, some interior linemen, maybe you need to do a little more close grip work or this or that just to transfer a little bit just because of the patterns. But, like, in reality, like, it doesn't matter. Like, sports specific. I've known too many people who've done sports specific stuff that I play with, and they were terrible at their sport. Like, it just does not. It does not work. And then look, you might have the 1% who can do anything and they get better. And you know, those are those gurus you see online who made it and did this and that and the other. And it's like, this is how we did. It's like, well, you could have picked up a stone and you would have got better. You could have walked on your hands.
Yeah.
And then probably that would have got you faster in the 40 just because you're genetically. I mean, I could probably say that about myself. Like back in the day, like I could have probably done anything and gotten better and more athletic because I was just genetically better than every. I don't want to be an asshole, but like I was just super athletic. Like
yeah,
like I mean, it is what it is. Like
yeah, sports came easily.
Yeah,
to
I
you.
could have done anything. Like I mean, I could dunk basketballs, jump, do all these crazy ass things that a 240-pound kid in high school, like white kid, like you know, running sub 1100 meter dashes. Like I could have done anything, got better. Like I mean, in high school, like we did dumb training. Like had high school coaches. Like we did old school, bigger, faster, stronger. Then I went to the YMCA and did bodybuilding stuff. Like I didn't. We did cleans and stuff, but I just lifted weights, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, get stronger, get more mobile, learn how to move better, and you'll become a better athlete. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
Like 30 minutes a day of stuff is better than doing nothing.
Yeah. Or just 3:30 class.
Yeah, or come 3:30 class, or if you're a collegiate athlete, or you're professional, you want anything, like we do that too. We just, like I said, we just don't promote it. Like that's not my gig. Like not that I don't have time. It's just like, if you're gonna find me, you're gonna find me, and if you want to get better, you're gonna get better. If you want to do the gimmicky stuff, do the gimmicky stuff. But like, also like getting back to the gimmicky stuff, like Trey and those guys that we did for Pro Day, like. We did linebacker drills, and they were, all of them were like, man, we need to do the drills they're going to do at the combine. So, like, at Pro Day, we know what we're doing. I'm like, bro, you're going to do that one time. So these drills that I'm doing for you that you can't do because y'all didn't do them at football practice, this is supposed to be your sports-specific stuff that y'all been doing. So what we did is literally every day we did some sort of footwork or bag or this or that, but that was like their sports-specific stuff because they never did it at school. So like, how did y'all play football? Wow. Like, what the fuck did y'all do? What did y'all's linebackers coach teach y'all? Like, I'm so confused because like, I don't know. But anyways, that's besides the point. But the way that we did it is when they got to Pro Day, they literally did the Pro Day drills one time each, then did a bunch of random drills that the scouts made up, and my guys looked better because we did all those different things, so they were ready for anything that was thrown at them, right?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, it's just is what it is. But
goes back to the CrossFit thing, unknown and unknowable.
Yeah.
Be ready for whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's about almost an hour and 15 minutes. So, share, like, subscribe, follow us, get a shirt. You've got to get a shirt by Sunday because Bacon's going to submit them Sunday night. Like I said, come check the gym out. Sign up if you want a program or anything. Email us, text us, whatever you need to do. I'm going to try to start doing weekly podcasts, too, about my training. Just talk about training because that'll keep me more consistent, too, on the training. And try to get some videos out. But just to get more stuff posted out there for everybody. So we can help grow the channel, grow the brand. And in reality, you just want to grow the gym. So, like, if one or two people listen to this and then they sign up, and that's all that matters. Like, I'm not expecting this to become, some giant-ass Barbell Shrug Park podcast or Joe Rogan. It'd be nice, but, like, if we get more gym members or we get more kids or more clientele at the gym, that's all that matters. So, you got anything else to say?
No, that's it, man.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate it. Remember, stay savage, not average, and we'll see you next time.